Well, good evening, Patriots. Good to see everybody here for PJNET's live full repeal hashtag rally. And boy, do we have a lively group here. Let me kind of go down the roster and recognize those of you that are here now. Now, by the way, there have been many other participants throughout the day, but the ones here, Carolyn Garcia, welcome. Good to see you. And Dan the man is here. Steve Hazards, folks, he's always here, but it's always good to have him here. L. Kim Thomas, back again. Good to see you. And I believe that she is among, and I could be wrong, but there is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Delegation here from United with Freedom Caucus, and Nana Jill, a little bit further down the list, is among them. Nana, if you have a link to your Facebook group, feel free to post that in the chat room now. And folks, go check that out. And Marlena Nobles, had a great conversation with her the other night. Good to have her with us. And Sunbelt Girl, who is, well, she plays many roles, but she is a video co-hostess tonight. When you're watching these videos, every other video is launched by Sunbelt Girl. And Terry G. Wright is the other video co-hostess tonight. Good to see everybody. The big vote is tomorrow. And now I hope that everybody is aware of the action page, because we will, of course, be moving on to confirm Gorsuch, another item of, well, national interest. But you can still go to the action page. Now, if you haven't been to the action page, I hope that you'll take a look, and I hope that somebody will put a link to it. There are multiple tabs on that page. The familiar featured tweets are there, just as they are here in our chat room, but there's also Tweet to the House. And basically, it's a group of people, primarily the Freedom Caucus, but in any event, people that have expressed reservations about this bill. And there are some really, really, really cool tweet buttons that have some really cool graphics. And I want to recognize Terry and also Carolyn, and there were some others that worked hard over the weekend, all day Sunday, putting those graphics together. And that page is totally amazing. The tweets, the messages are randomized. Anyway, so by all means do that. Now, also, there's a tab for our hashtag graph on full repeal. I posted the link earlier to our hashtag graphing page, but keep up with that, folks. What you all are doing when you consider that Twitter is the pulse of public opinion. There's a very persuasive argument that says what we are seeing here is nothing short of Twitter outrage. So it's really handy to keep these things, this hashtag tracking at your fingertips, because our elected representatives, well, they need to pay attention, don't they? So we can use this to hold their feet to the fire. What's kind of neat, if you go there, you can click on any day. Right now, by the way, before we kind of started this initiative, the full repeal hashtag had on the 19th, a whopping total of about 1,300 tweets. And then we had our rally 2 days ago. And that multiplied by a factor of, well, 100. It had 13,000 plus tweets. And then we did not have a rally yesterday, so it kind of dropped down to 7,400. But today, right now, it's at 19,000 plus. And we've got a couple of hours left tonight. If you click on the day, it'll tell you. Now, we've got 946 so far this hour. So, and by the way, there are some other groups piling on, and I've mentioned United with Freedom Caucus, but there are some other groups. Apparently AFP is doing something, and I actually reached out to the leadership of AFP and invited them to come here and be recognized and share with us what they're doing. And there was another group that I don't know how to get to them. But folks, it's good to see other conservative groups rallying together and coalescing around a single hashtag. One of the problems that we've observed over the years of doing this is everybody wants to have their own hashtag. Of course, we have our own too, and have their own brand. But the thing is when you scatter your messaging and spread it out between 5 or 6 hashtag, it really just dilutes the effectiveness of each one. It would be so nice if we could get the leadership of these other groups together and say, hey, let's all do our own thing with our own group. I'm not trying to take away from stealing anybody's thunder, but let's all agree on the hashtag to use, and that way as we measure it, we'll see the total impact, and of course each one can measure their own individual progress too. So that's good. All right, well, now tomorrow's the vote, and now listen, if by some miracle they pull this bill and do not vote on it, now what you're going to see, we've seen this before, you're going to see a lot of conservatives just in a orgy of elation, saying, wow, look what we did. Well, and certainly the reason they would pull it is probably, among other things, but primarily Twitter outrage, I would say. But I'm sure they're getting heat from other places, but nonetheless. We move the needle, folks, and that's what we're trying to do. We can't do anything by ourselves, but together we can have an impact. But if they pull the bill, they did this with Common Core. That just means that they're going to circle up their wagons and come back later. So it's certainly a new set of downs. It's certainly a good thing, but it's not winning. Winning is when they take the vote and the thing's dead. Now, the Senate. There's been a lot of interest in high-profile senators. Senator Cruz, Senator Lee, Senator Paul. And certainly it is good to have them weigh in. But folks, if this thing gets beaten tomorrow in the House, it doesn't matter what the Senate does. The Senate cannot pass an appropriations bill. Those must originate in the House. So the battlefield now is in the House. Now, let's say that it passes tomorrow in the House. Well, folks, don't go get in a fetal position. Don't go hanging your head. What that means is that we've got to get together and double down on the Senate. We don't have a good track record there, but that will not deter us. What's nice about the Senate is it's a smaller number of targets. There's only 100 of them, okay, not 435. So we're going to keep the heat on regardless of what happens tomorrow. If it's just voted down, then we can celebrate a victory and say we won. But of course, it's never over, folks. We won this game, but the season's not over. We will be shifting gears, focusing on Confirm Gorsuch. Now, we do have a Confirm Gorsuch action page set up, and it is very similar to, in fact, visually it looks the same, just the topic is different, but the effect is the same. We hope that you'll visit that and participate. And folks, I really do appreciate the participation that has come. You all have really rallied around this flag, and I say this often because I mean it, and it can't be said too often. All of this technology and all of these tools and all of the skills that we bring to bear on this, and the resources and the assets that we have, are absolutely worthless without you. It's very much like a shovel. A shovel can't dig a hole until somebody puts their hand on the handle and causes that shovel to dig the dirt. You all are what makes this happen, and it is just we can win and win and win. We have enough people already in agreement with us to win most battles. What makes the difference is when we get together and start acting as a team. There's a difference between making noise and making music. Okay, folks, we make music here, and that's to your credit. And I just really greatly appreciate each of your efforts and all the sacrifice that you've made. Let's keep the heat on, keep your foot on the throttle, and let's go full steam ahead. And I'll turn the controls back over to whoever the next video co-hostess is as we continue our live PJNET full repeal #rally.